Long Adventure by Chloe Thorburn. Chapter 1, The Baby is Born. Chapter 2, The Dragon Steals the Baby Girl. Chapter 3, 15th Birthday. Chapter 4, Robin Hood, The Blackout. Chapter 5, Robin, Love at First Sight. Chapter 6, The Sneak Out. Chapter 7, The Dragon Fight. Chapter 8, Home Again, Jiggity Jig. Chapter 9, The Wedding. Chapter 1, The Baby is Born. There in the castle of Paris lived a pregnant queen who was having a baby girl. They called the girl Rapunzel. She was beautiful and had long golden hair, and that is the story of Rapunzel. Chapter 2, The Dragon Steals the Baby Girl. After the baby girl was born, a terrible dragon named Rucker came. He had spikes all over his body and hated everybody he saw, but he really wanted Rapunzel, so he stole her because of her golden long hair. Chapter 2, The Dragon Steals the Baby Girl continued. Then the dragon brought Rapunzel to a crib in the highest tower ever seen, and left her there forever. Then the dragon said under his breath, "Be happy here, because you are staying here forever." Then the dragon flew away and said, "Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha!" Chapter 3, 15th Birthday. It was Rapunzel's 15th birthday. She was so excited. She baked a cake and put her name on it and watched for people. She knew it was the same birthday as the others. Then she ate the cake all by herself and walked in her room and cried. Chapter 3, 15th Birthday continued. Then she heard a sound. She heard a bow and arrow shooting. Next she saw a boy in ragged clothes with a bow on his back, climbing up the tower. So Rapunzel got prepared. Chapter 4, Robin Hood the Blackout. The next thing you knew, a boy named Robin Hood was in the tower. Rapunzel was in the kitchen with a frying pan. Seeing Robin Hood, she ran out and hit him with the frying pan. Finally, she shoved him in the closet, wrapped her hair around him, and tied him in a chair. Chapter 4, Robin Hood the Blackout continued. When Robin Hood woke up, he said, "Who are you?" "My name is Rapunzel," she said. "Well, my name is Robin Hood," he said. Then Robin Hood said, "Why do you live here?" Rapunzel said, "Because a dragon named Rucker, who is really bossy, and he wanted me because of my golden long hair." "Is that why you came here?" asked Rapunzel. "No," he said. Chapter 5, Love at First Sight. Then Robin Hood asked when Rapunzel's birthday was. She answered, "Today." "Then where are the guests?" he said. "Well, I don't have a family," Rapunzel said. "Today is my birthday too," said Robin Hood, "and I didn't have any guests either." Then they started talking about their lives. It was all the same. Then they kissed. Chapter 5, Love at First Sight continued. Then Rapunzel asked him to take her to his place. So Robin Hood said yes. Next, he tucked her in bed and kissed her good night, and he slept on the floor. Finally, he sneaked over to the window and watched for the evil dragon Rucker. Chapter 6, The Sneak Out. Next at 8 o'clock a.m., Robin Hood and Rapunzel snuck out and went to Robin Hood's house. When they got there, the house was very tiny. Then, when they got into the house, there was a television, chair, a bedroom, kitchen, another chair, and a bathroom. Chapter 6, The Sneak Out continued. Then Robin Hood showed Rapunzel his dog. It was a girl. Her name was Pit. She was a wiener dog. The dog was reddish-brownish and very skinny and cute. Next, he showed Rapunzel his house. Then they had dinner and kissed and went to sleep. Chapter 1, The Dragon Fight. In the morning, Robin Hood and Rapunzel were back at home, where they were supposed to live. Robin Hood was at his house and Rapunzel was in the tower. Then Robin Hood went to see Rapunzel, but in front of the door was the dragon named Rucker. Then the dragon attacked Robin Hood. Chapter 7, The Dragon Fight continued. They fought and fought, and then Rucker died, so Robin Hood won. Then out of the dragon's body came a fairy. Then Robin Hood asked, "Who are you?" "My name is Flower," said the fairy, "and you freed me from the dragon, and I am your fairy godmother. What do you want to have?" "A castle," said Robin Hood. "I want to live with Rapunzel." and marry her. Your wish is granted, said the fairy. Chapter 8. Home again, jiggity jig. The next thing you knew, they were in a beautiful castle with chandeliers and candles, and the 6-story house was perfect. Then they wanted to get married the next day, which was supposed to be a great sunny day. Chapter 8. Home again, jiggity jig continued. Then Rapunzel and Robin Hood got inside the castle and had a wonderful day and had fun. Also, they watched a drive-in movie. It was called Romance. The movie had a prince and a princess named Joss and Christina. Next, Rapunzel and Robin Hood had dinner at a place called Le Fant Cafe. They had a salad and sandwiches. Then they returned to the castle and went to sleep. Chapter 9. The Wedding. Last but not least, the wedding. Rapunzel and Robin Hood got married, and Rapunzel got to see her parents. Next, they had children. They had a fancy dinner and registered the kids in school. Their oldest child was 12 years old, and her name was Louise. The second oldest was 11 years old, and her name was Maddie. Then the third littlest was 8 years old, and her name was Chloe. The second littlest was 2 years old, and her name was Addie. The first littlest was 1.5, and her name was Kenna. Chapter 9. The Wedding Continued. Rapunzel and Robin Hood and Kids Family Picture. The end.